Hey guys, this is about my fourth attempt at making this video because every time I'm speaking into it, I get a little upset. So I'm going to just focus on what needs to be said here. Spirit has asked me to speak about this, and this is something that is a very difficult and touchy subject to talk about, and usually I stay away from controversial things that will divide people. But because this situation or this particular topic is done with the intention of dividing people, it is very important that there is conversation around this, and Spirit's asking me to bring the awareness of the reality of what's going on. And so what I'm talking about is, as you guys probably already very well know, the whole abortion is really heavily being pushed right now. And the Roe versus Wade, being reversed. And this has really triggered a lot of people. And what I need to speak into is that although I am absolutely about choice and freedoms, as you guys already know by now, this last couple of years, that's what I've been advocating for. Freedoms and choice of our bodies, and what these people that are now all of a sudden caring about your rights and your body for, that have not cared about it in the last 2 years and have been pushing these tyrannical measures on you, all of a sudden care is absolutely false. And so I need you to have an open mind about what I'm saying, because it's not something that's easy to listen to and to even fathom that is a possibility that these people are doing. And so while they're telling you that they are fighting for your freedoms and for your rights, particularly women, it's not true, because what they're doing is they really, for them, every time a woman aborts a child, it is a sacrifice. And I know a lot of you are going to immediately want to dismiss this and stop listening right now, but I'm asking you to really pay attention, because this has been a spiritual war, and this is a huge part of it, and this is what they've been doing. And you guys know very well that I'm all about protecting the children, and this is what I've been focused on this entire time. Well, this is no different. And so while yes, it is about women's rights and their bodies, but in their regard, their side, they're just using that as an excuse to continue sacrificing children. And so let me explain this. I've known about this for a couple of years. I mean, probably even longer now. But I stay away from talking about this because, again, this is something that not many people are going to believe. And the other portion probably don't want to listen to it. But because where we're at now, it is so important that you really pay attention to what I'm saying. And so the way I was shown is that a woman's body, we birth life. And so our womb is like an altar, right? And so what they're encouraging is for women to abort these children, because it is the ultimate sacrifice. See, they're sacrificing their children in the altar, in the most sacred place, which is our body. And so while they are saying, and giving reasons or like examples that maybe, a woman was raped and, she was abused, or she can't afford having this child, they know how to mentally get into people's heads to side with them, because of course, if a woman's been abused and then she's pregnant, that is going to be a difficult process for a woman. And in those instances, there should be, circumstances or situations where they might need to have options. That's their choice. However, that's not what they're advocating. They're just using that as something that will have women side with them. But the reality is that they're even pushing abortion. Now, listen to this: abortion for babies that have already been born for 2 months. How is that an abortion? That is not an abortion, that is murder. But they have painted this picture to have people believe that they are doing it to help the women, to help, their situation, when in reality, it is a sacrifice. So those people, especially the ones that have been silent this entire time about freedoms and choice and rights, all of a sudden are speaking up about pro-choice. Please really reflect on what you're saying, because if it was about pro-choice, where were you at this entire time? Why didn't you speak up and defend people's freedoms and rights to choose what goes on in their bodies and what was being forced on their faces? So it's time for everyone to really pay attention, because again, this is a spiritual attack on humanity, and everybody seems to just be going along with it, not even questioning anything, and not even wondering why so many people are okay with taking a life away. Because at the end of the day, people are taking a life away, a child's life. And again, while this is not about, what my opinion is, there are options that are aside from having to take a life away. There's adoption. There is, caring for yourself if you're not ready to be a parent. So there's certain other options that could be put in place to avoid murdering an innocent child. So, just pay attention, because there's so much trickery happening, and the evil is very real. It's very loose right now, and a lot of people cannot seem to think or to see beyond the veil that has been placed. It's like this big cloak has been placed over people, and they're just not even asking questions, and they just eat everything that they're being fed. And unless people start really paying attention, it's going to continue to get worse, because everybody's just kind of playing right into what these evil people have been doing and are continuing to do. So, I can keep going on about it, but I just feel like the important part of the message is for you guys to be aware that it has nothing to do with them caring about how or what, how we feel, how humanity feels, or women feel, and especially about our choices. They don't care. Again, they've been pushing all this nonsense for the last 2.5 years, and taking people's jobs away, and just harming tons of humans because of what's being forced into their bodies. And all of a sudden they're going to care about you? No. So anyways, appreciate you listening, and please share information with people that are still not aware of what's happening.